Our next string function is going to be something called long date, and it will accept a string that looks something like this, or perhaps like this. The difference between this one and this one, leading zeros are allowed for the month and the day, and it's possible just to have a two-digit year, in which case we assume that it is the 21st century, and we'll put a 20 in front of that. Okay, so either one of these dates here would be displayed as this date over here. Okay, so the input will be a string made up of only digits and two slashes. There may be leading or trailing white space. The string will always represent a valid date, so we don't have to worry about that. The year may be 2 or 4 digits. We won't worry about it being 3 or any other number. And the month or day may have a leading 0. If it does, we have to get rid of it. We don't want to print out January. So down here, we don't want to print out January 01, 2018. So we also need to take the month and convert it into the corresponding word. And we have to put one space after the month name and a comma and a space after the day. So there's our space between the month and the day, and there's the comma and the space between the day and the year. So suggestion is write something called get month, get day, and get year, and use those and put them together to create our long date. And we'll call these from our long date function. Okay, so we'll take the results from the three functions and put them together and print out the date. So let's flip over to Spider, and let's open up a little extra space here for this one. And we're going to pass in a date string. Okay, we'll just call it date. And again, I'll do a default value here to make my life a little bit easier when I go to test it. 01/01. Well, let's do a different one. Let's do 02 so we know we're getting the correct thing back. If I use the same number for both the month and the day, then it's possible that I could have a mistake where I'm getting the wrong one and I wouldn't know the difference. So if they're different values like this, it'll be easier to figure out. And let's do 21 for the year. Okay. So we are going to write some helper functions. And one helper function is going to be get day. And get day is going to be, we're going to strip off the middle number. So I need to find the first slash and the second slash. There could be 1 or 2 digits in between, so I just can't assume that there's always going to be 2. So we're going to do get day, and we're going to pass in a date string again. We'll do the same default value. And what I have to do is I want to pick off the 02 and get rid of the leading 0. So I need to find out where the first slash is. I need to find out where the last slash is and pick off what's in between. So let's do /1. That's going to be date.find. And what I'm going to look for is a slash. That'll give me, in this case, it's in character position number 2. I'm going to do /2. That's going to be date.rfind from the right side. And now I want to pick off the day. So the day is going to be equal to a slice of the date. And it's going to start at /1. But that's the slash. So I want to go one beyond that. And that'll get me to the 0 in the 02. And that's where I want to start. And I want to go up to, but not including /2. Okay. And a useful thing here to do might be, while you're testing it, just print out the value of day. And it should be 02. Okay. And now I've got the day. We said that it is legal to have a leading 0 there, and so we need to check see if there's a leading 0. So if day sub 0, the first character, is equal to the character 0, then what I want to do is I want to trim it. So I'm going to do day equals day dot, and the longest it can be is 2 characters. So if there is a 0 in front, there's only 1 character left, so I don't need to do a dot. I can do day character number 1. Okay, and then I'm going to return. Got to spell it right though. Return day. So what I'm going to do down here is I'm going to do day equals get day of whatever the date is. So we can actually run that now. We don't have to have a return statement here. If it gets to the end, it'll just stop and it won't return anything. But I'm going to, so I'm just going to call it. Actually, I'll show you what happens if I print it out. So we'll do print, and I'm going to call long date, and I'm not going to pass anything, and I'll just take that default value that's there for now. So we should go ahead and run it, and it should go here, and it should pick off the 02, and then it should pick the 0 off of that, and right here it should print 02, and you know what, right here I should print out what the value of day is after that, and it should have the 0 removed from it. Now let's go ahead and run this. Hope I didn't make any typos here. And so the first time it is 02, the second time it is 2, so it appears to be working. And if you don't have a return statement, but you try to print out or use whatever was returned, what gets returned by default here is something called none. And so if you're trying to return something from a function and what you find out is it returned none, go back and look at the function and see if you missed a return statement someplace. So now we don't need these debugging statements in here anymore. There we go. Okay, so I think that is working. Then we want to get one that will pick off the month. So we're going to do def get month. And the month is the first 1 or 2 digits, everything up to the slash. So we are going to find the position of the slash. And that's going to be, we're going to take our date string and we're going to do a find. What we're looking for is the first slash. Got to hold the shift key down, or no shift key. And now I want everything up to but not including that, so month is going to be equal to the date, the slice from the beginning up to but not including where that first slash is. Okay. And now I've got the month either as, you know, a single digit number or a double digit number or possibly a single digit number with a 0 in front of it for the months January through September. So I have to do the same thing here. If month sub 0, the first character, is equal to a 0, then I want month to just be the second character, which is at position 1. Okay, and I'm pretty sure that code is correct because I just did the exact same code up here with a different variable. And now that I've got the month, I want to convert that into a name. So that's going to be just one big long if statement. And actually I'm going to do 12 if statements, short ones. So let's do this. If month equals, now it's text, so it's a string. Then what I want to do is I want to return, and because I'm returning, I don't need an else if. I can just do if month, and as soon as I get the one that I'm looking for, I'll return. And if I don't get it, I'll just go on to the next if statement. So if and you don't need to watch me type the rest of this, so I'm going to pause the video and type everything in. Okay, I've typed everything in. We've got all 12 months there. And I said that everything would be valid, but just to be little bit on the defensive side here to make sure that if something is invalid, gets entered, we will identify it. Okay. By the way, if we didn't have this in here and none of the returns were executed, it would return none, like we talked about a few minutes ago. Okay. I am getting a trailing white space. Okay, so that's just something Kite doesn't like. It wants me to have really clean code. And down here, I'm going to do month equals get month from the date. And I will, once I do that, I will print it out. That's just for debugging purposes. So I should get January with the data that I've got. Let's go ahead and run it. And we get January, and this is not returning anything, so we're getting a none again, but we'll fix that eventually. Okay. The last thing we want is we want to get the year. So let's write another little helper function here. Year equals get year, and we'll pass in the date. Okay. So we're going to leave 2 blank lines. And then we're going to do def get year. We're going to pass in a date equals, and I'll do the same default here. And I want to pick off whatever follows the last slash. It might be 2 digits long, it might be 4 digits long, but we're going to assume that it's one of those two. So need to find the last slash. So last slash equals date dot find. Find, you got to come in from the right side. And that will find the slash that is between the 2 and the 21 right there. Then I want to pick off my year is going to be equal to date, and I want to do a slice here. I'm going to start at last slash plus 1. I don't want to include the slash there. I'm going to go all the way to the end. Okay. Then I'm going to check to see if I got a short year, if I got a 2-digit year like I do in this case. So if the length of year is equal to 2, then year is going to be equal to, put the number 20 in front of it, and tack that onto what's already there. If not, I just leave it. It means I've already got a 4-digit year, and now I'm going to return year. And now that I've done that, down here I can replace this with a single return statement. So it's going to be month plus a space plus the day plus a comma and a space, and then plus the year. And let's see, I took my print statements out, so that all looks good. Down here it's probably telling me I got too much blank space, and yeah, that's not a big deal. So I'm going to print long date. It should print out January 2nd, 2021. Now, we won't get a none anymore because we are returning something from our long date function. So let's see if it works. See if we get January 2nd, 2021, and we do. Okay, let's stop there.